Check it out, right back at you. Just got finished crushing another badass workout. This workout was relentless. So if anybody trains with me and you had a chance to do that relentless workout, you know what it's about. Tough as hell. Went through the 5 circuits. I'm dying. But while I was going through that workout, I always get hit and I start reflecting on things that people ask me all the time. And one thing somebody always asks me, and my clients always ask me, is like, where do you get your work ethic from? Where do you get this mentality of never stopping, never quitting, no matter what kind of adversity gets hit your way? You just keep on showing up. And I have to think back to like when I was a young kid, 9 years old. I had a paper out and it was the Daily News. It was early morning. I hate mornings. Everybody knows me, knows I hate early mornings. And even since I was a little kid, hate early mornings. I'd get up 5 o'clock in the morning, get my papers, put the inserts in, especially Sundays, they were the worst. Put all the inserts in the papers and then go out and deliver my papers, and I did that for about a year and a half straight. All sorts of weather, you got to do it all sorts of weather. People want to read their paper, and if it was nasty out, you put it in plastic bags. It's even more challenging. So with all that being said, around 1980, my mom was chasing after her goals and her dreams, and she wanted to buy a pizzeria restaurant. She did so. She took all the savings out of our family and dumped it into this restaurant, and she ended up creating one of the best restaurants to ever hit the East Coast, let alone the little city of Bayonne. People and other restaurants, like these restaurants called San Vito's and all these places in Bayonne, used to come down and look in my mom's pizzeria window to see what the hell we're doing. They would park outside across the street and like, what's going on in there? What are they doing so differently? And you know what? It's that little bit more principle, and that's where my work ethic came from, is watching my mom do it, watching my dad do it. He had like 5 different jobs. He had his career, which was in law enforcement, but he had another 3 or 4 different jobs on the side, plus he'd come down and help out the pizzeria too. So I always saw my family working. We never let up. Like, we never took a day off being sick. And even to today, my clients can tell you, I never took a day off of being sick. I've never been sick to say I gotta take a day off. I can't come in because I'm not feeling well. It's never happened in my whole entire career. And at 10 years old, my mom came to me and said, we need you down at the restaurant. Why don't you forget about the papers, go down in the morning time. You can sleep in about an extra hour, but in the morning time, you can go and sweep and mop and get the pizzeria ready for me to come in and work. So I was like, that was a great idea. I don't have to run around the streets. I can just go into one place. And that ended up being more than I bit off, more than I thought it was going to be. But it taught me again my work ethic. I had to be at a certain place at a certain time before even school started. This is at 10 years old. I was 10 years old, ran down to the restaurant, swept it, mopped it, made sure the ovens were on a certain degrees. It had to be 550. My mom had a steam table. We had a steam table in there, so we had to get all the hot food ready, put that in the steam table, turn the steam table on. We had cold cuts on the side too, because we made sandwiches and all different types of sandwiches. So we had to get the cold cuts ready to go. I had to turn the ovens on. Not only ovens, the deep fryers, because we did a lot of fry foods as well. And I had to get the place up. And I had some time after that. I fold some boxes and stuff like that. And then I'm out the door, getting ready for school, make sure I'm in school by 8:45, 9 o'clock. I did that for about 2.5 years. And from there, at the same time, I'm also prepping the store. Wednesdays and Sundays, I hated those days. Those were garbage days. But, I was forced to take out the garbage all the time. I hated it, and then I learned how to roll dough, make sauce, make pizza sauce, marinara sauce, cutting cheese, rolling dough. We did it all. Everything was hands-on. It was just my family. We didn't have extra help. We had kids around the neighborhood that helped us, but we didn't have real extra, big time help, like cleaning and mopping and all that stuff. We really it was a family-owned restaurant, and we had some close family friends that helped us out as well. And I did that at 12 years old. At 12 years old, I was working 8 hours sometimes in that restaurant a day. And the only time I'd have off is when I was playing sports. Now, my dad said, listen, you can play football. We definitely want you to do something you love doing. However, if you don't start, if you're not playing, then you have to come down in the restaurant. So that kind of forced me to have a real hard work ethic on training during football season, to get ready for football season, even off football season. Because if I wasn't at practice or I wasn't at the game, I had to be back at the store helping them out, making dough, making pizzas. And like I said, at 12 years old, I started making pizzas and really running a restaurant at 12. So I ended up playing a big role in the restaurant industry and in my family's restaurant. And again, the only time I had off was when I played sports. So, during my high school years, I said, let me see if I can play another sport. I started wrestling. And I started playing football and wrestling. I was like, wow, this is great. But even though I did those two sports, when I finished that activity, I still had responsibilities at the restaurant. When all my friends were running around and having fun and hanging out and partying, I was at the restaurant. I was grinding it out. But my mom was teaching me work ethic. She was teaching me how to never stop. She said, no matter what you do in life, whatever you decide to do, you got to do it 110%. Even if that's not your field of endeavor. Whatever you decide to do it 110%. This way, when you get in front of something that you really love doing, and you have your passion, your career, something you really enjoy, you're going to even go out that even harder because it's going to be something you love. Right? And I took all that to a very big principle for myself. And, when I put in a 10-hour day or 11-hour day or 12-hour day, it doesn't really feel like that much of a big deal to me. And I've been doing that my whole entire life. I've been working those hours since I was a teenager. I don't know any other way to work besides grinding out and working hard. And I appreciate it because even though at the times I've worked for different companies, I've worked for different people, as a personal trainer, you're kind of independent within an organization sometimes. And I love that fact because if I worked harder than the person next to me, I got paid more than the person next to me. So that incentivized me to work harder, to learn more, to be better at my craft, to do that little bit more principle and make the little changes in me to help people change as well. And that is where I really got to say I created that work ethic. Is over the years always grooming myself to always wanting to be better, always wanting to do better. It's just something that is like inside of a person. I think it's inside of everybody, but sometimes we get beaten up or we get so disillusioned and so frustrated because things aren't going your way, you kind of give up on your hopes and your dreams. And that's when you got to really grind it out. That's the difference between a winner and a loser, right? You got to keep grinding out. And one thing I go back and say is like the fact that I was like this independent worker and I was out working people and I strived and I was doing so much better than all my peers is just because I think I just wanted it more. Is because of my young age working hard in that restaurant business and then taking that into my next field of endeavors, I just didn't see any other way but just outwork people. And the best part about that is that I never had somebody like a thumb on me or somebody over me or I had worked for corporate America a couple times or so, and when I felt like the pressure was too much where it was all about the company and not about servicing people, I left because I was never going to be able to work for someone or something that they were going to dictate my end result. I believe that's one thing and a key element of my success is what I really enjoyed the most is that I never had anybody kind of put their thumb on me and tell me when, how, where, what to do something. There were certain parts of my life that happened, but it was very short-lived because I knew what I wanted. And for me, success was freedom. Freedom to come and go as I want. Free if my daughter was playing in a soccer game or soccer practice or whatever she was doing, I was able to attend it. My youngest daughter, I get the chance to spend so much time with her and take time off because I can dictate my hours. And for me, that's the most important thing because I can't get that time back. I can always look back and reflect on my life and say, I never missed quality things in my kid's life. I never missed quality things in events in my family's life because I wouldn't let that work get in the way. So how you develop work ethic is finding something you love doing. However, even if you don't love doing it, if you're in a job right now that you don't like, you got to start practicing. It's like going to practice. Everybody wants to play in the game, but sometimes people don't like the practice. The practice is where you harness your skills. So when you're at this job or career that you're in that you really don't like, you got to consider that practice. Putting time in, to develop a skill, to develop your endurance so when you get in front of the career you want, you're going to hit it running and hit it hard running. There's nothing you cannot do. You got to picture it in your mind. I can, I will, just watch me. I can, I will, just watch me. I can, I will, just watch me. You got to speak great things to yourself every day. When you're down, look in the mirror and say, no, I'm not down. I'm better than this. I'm going to get up stronger. I'm going to fight one more day. I'm going to make a 30-day surge. I'm going to give myself a 30-day goal. I'm going to go all out for 30 days. I'm going to save money a little bit more. I'm going to plan a little bit better. I'm going to give back to myself a little bit more. I'm going to eat a little bit better for 30 days straight. Anybody can do anything for 30 days. Go make your 30-day game plan. Make it work. Have that vision. Strive. Create a great work ethic, and you will succeed. See you on your way up. Peace out.